The Empire Acceleration Method, 10x Growth Psychology. Let me ask you something that will expose the difference between those who grow slowly and those who explode exponentially. What if I told you that every emperor, every conqueror, every person who has built a massive empire in record time has mastered one psychological principle above all others? Not persistence, not intelligence, not resources, but something far more powerful, 10x acceleration psychology? What if I told you that while most people think in terms of gradual improvement, the greatest empire builders think in terms of exponential multiplication, and that this 10x mindset can be systematically developed to create breakthrough results in months instead of decades? Tonight, you're going to discover what I call the Empire Acceleration Method, the psychological framework for achieving 10x growth by thinking beyond linear improvement and accessing the mental patterns that create explosive expansion. But first, let me take you inside the moment when one young man applied 10x psychology to conquer more territory in 13 years than the Roman Empire built in 400. The Macedonian Multiplication Mindset. It was 336 BC, and 20-year-old Alexander had just inherited a small kingdom in Macedonia from his assassinated father. Any reasonable analysis would suggest that Alexander should focus on consolidating power, defending his borders, and gradually expanding his influence over the next several decades. But Alexander wasn't thinking in terms of gradual growth. While other rulers thought about adding provinces over time, Alexander was thinking about something unprecedented, conquering the entire known world in a single lifetime. Where others saw the logical path of slow expansion, Alexander accessed what Napoleon Hill would later identify as 10x acceleration psychology, the ability to think and act in terms of exponential multiplication rather than linear addition. Alexander didn't just want to be a better king than his father. He wanted to create an empire 10 times larger than anything that had ever existed. This wasn't ambition, it was a complete psychological shift that transformed impossible dreams into inevitable realities. In 13 years, Alexander conquered territories stretching from Greece to India, creating an empire that covered over 2 million square miles. He didn't build this empire gradually. He exploded across 3 continents with a speed that seemed superhuman. Alexander had mastered what Hill called the Empire Acceleration Method, the psychological framework that turns linear thinking into exponential results, gradual progress into explosive expansion, and impossible timelines into inevitable achievements. The science of 10x growth psychology. Through studying rapid empire builders, Hill discovered that exponential growth operates according to specific psychological principles that most people never understand. Principle 1. Exponential thinking versus linear thinking. While most people think in terms of addition, 10% better, 20% growth, 10x thinkers operate in terms of multiplication, 10 times larger, 100 times faster. Principle 2. Systems multiplication versus task addition. Instead of adding more activities, 10x thinkers create systems that automatically multiply results without proportional increases in effort. Principle 3. Timeline compression versus timeline extension. While linear thinkers extend timelines to make goals seem achievable, 10x thinkers compress timelines to force breakthrough innovation. Principle 4. Resource multiplication versus resource conservation. Rather than conserving existing resources, 10x thinkers create methods for multiplying available resources exponentially. Principle 5. Impossibility transcendence versus limitation acceptance. While linear thinkers accept limitations as boundaries, 10x thinkers use impossibility as fuel for breakthrough innovation. The 4 stages of empire acceleration. Hill identified 4 distinct stages that every 10x growth transformation follows. Stage 1. Mindset multiplication. Psychological transformation. Stage 2. System amplification. Structural innovation. Stage 3. Resource leverage. Exponential scaling. Stage 4. Timeline compression. Acceleration mastery. Each stage builds upon the previous one to create compound acceleration that seems impossible to linear thinkers. Stage 1. Mindset multiplication. Programming 10x psychology. The first stage involves completely transforming how you think about growth, possibility, and timelines. This isn't positive thinking, it's fundamental psychological reprogramming. Genghis Khan, the ultimate mindset multiplier. Khan's transformation from tribal outcast to ruler of the largest contiguous empire in history demonstrates perfect mindset multiplication. Instead of thinking about gradually uniting the Mongol tribes, Khan thought about conquering the entire world. Khan's mindset multiplication system, impossibility programming. Khan programmed his mind to see impossible goals as inevitable outcomes. World domination certainty, thinking about global conquest as a predetermined result rather than an impossible dream. Timeline compression, planning to achieve in decades what typically took centuries. Obstacle irrelevance, viewing barriers as temporary inconveniences rather than permanent limitations. Exponential vision development. Khan developed the ability to see exponential possibilities rather than linear improvements. Multiplication mathematics, thinking in terms of doubling territories rather than adding provinces. System scaling, envisioning organizational structures that could expand infinitely. Network effect thinking, understanding how each conquest would accelerate future conquests. Psychological conditioning. Khan conditioned his mind for exponential success. Dolly 10x visualization, spending time each day visualizing world-spanning empire. Impossibility normalization, making impossible goals feel natural and inevitable. Limitation rejection, refusing to accept any constraints on expansion possibility. Your mindset multiplication training. Week 1 to 2, linear thinking assessment. Identify areas where you're thinking in terms of gradual improvement rather than exponential growth. Document current goals and assess whether they represent linear addition or exponential multiplication. Recognize mental patterns that limit thinking to incremental progress. Week 3-4, 10x mindset installation. Rewrite all goals in terms of 10x multiplication rather than percentage improvement. Practice visualizing outcomes that are 10 times larger than current circumstances. Develop comfort with impossibility level thinking. Week 5-6, exponential psychology integration. Create daily practices that reinforce 10x thinking patterns. Develop automatic responses to limitations that involve multiplication rather than acceptance. Build psychological conditioning for exponential success. Stage 2, system amplification. Building exponential structures. The second stage involves creating systems and structures that automatically multiply results without proportional increases in effort or resources. Elon Musk, the system amplification master. Musk's simultaneous building of multiple revolutionary companies demonstrates perfect system amplification. Instead of building one company gradually, Musk created systems that automatically generate breakthrough innovation across multiple industries. Musk's system amplification framework. Multi-system architecture. Musk built interconnected systems that amplify each other. Cross-industry innovation. Using breakthroughs in one industry to accelerate progress in others. Talent system sharing. Creating talent development systems that benefit multiple companies. Technology cross-pollination. Building innovations that automatically improve multiple ventures. Automatic innovation systems. Musk created structures that generate innovation without his direct involvement. First principles engineering. Building systems that automatically find optimal solutions. Rapid iteration protocols. Creating structures that automatically improve product. Breakthrough culture systems. Building organizational cultures that automatically generate innovation. Exponential scaling mechanisms. Musk designed systems that automatically scale beyond normal growth patterns. Manufacturing revolution. Creating production systems that automatically achieve impossible cost reductions. Global distribution systems. Building networks that automatically expand market reach. Technological standard setting. Creating systems that automatically become industry standards. Your system amplification development. System assessment. Identify current systems and evaluate their capacity for exponential scaling. Determine which activities could be systematized for automatic multiplication. Assess opportunities for cross-system leverage and amplification. System redesign. Rebuild existing systems with exponential scaling capabilities. Create interconnected systems that amplify each other's results. Develop automatic multiplication mechanisms within each system. Stage 3. Resource leverage. Exponential scaling methods. The third stage involves learning to multiply available resources exponentially rather than simply managing or conserving existing resources. Jeff Bezos, the resource multiplication genius, Bezos' transformation of Amazon from online bookstore to global everything store demonstrates perfect resource leverage. Instead of gradually expanding book categories, Bezos created systems that automatically multiply both resources and capabilities. Bezos' resource multiplication strategy. Customer resource multiplication. Bezos created systems where each customer automatically generates more customers. Network effect engineering. Building systems where more users automatically create more value. Data multiplication systems. Using customer information to automatically improve service for all customers. Viral growth mechanisms. Creating systems that automatically turn customers into marketer. Infrastructure leverage. Bezos built infrastructure that automatically multiplies business capabilities. REOWS development. Creating computing infrastructure that automatically serves millions of businesses. Logistics network creation. Building delivery systems that automatically enable new business models. Platform economics. Creating systems where other businesses automatically generate revenue for Amazon. Capital multiplication systems. Bezos developed methods for automatically multiplying available capital. Reinvestment automation, building systems that automatically reinvest profits for exponential growth. Investor attraction mechanisms, creating systems that automatically attract capital for expansion. Value creation multipliers, building systems that automatically increase company valuation. Modern resource multiplication examples. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook/Meta, created systems where each user automatically multiplies platform value. Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Google built systems where each search automatically improves service for everyone. Reed Hastings, Netflix, developed systems where each viewer automatically enhances content for all users. Travis Kalanick, Uber, created systems where each ride automatically improves service efficiency. Stage 4, timeline compression, acceleration mastery. The final stage involves mastering the ability to compress typical timelines through breakthrough innovation and exponential execution. Steve Jobs, the timeline compression virtuoso. Jobs' transformation of multiple industries in record time demonstrates perfect timeline compression. Instead of gradually improving existing products, Jobs compressed entire innovation cycles into breakthrough moments. Jobs' timeline compression methods. Innovation acceleration. Jobs created methods for compressing typical development timelines. Breakthrough thinking, skipping incremental improvements to achieve revolutionary results. Deadline pressure utilization, using impossible timelines to force breakthrough innovation. Prototype to production acceleration, compressing development cycles through intense focus. Market transformation speed. Jobs developed the ability to transform entire markets rapidly. Consumer behavior reprogramming, changing how people interact with technology in months rather than years. Industry standard creation, establishing new industry standards through single product launches. Cultural shift acceleration, creating cultural changes that typically take decades in just a few years. Organizational velocity. Jobs built organizations capable of exponential execution speed. Decision velocity, creating systems for making breakthrough decisions rapidly. Execution acceleration, building teams capable of implementing impossible timelines. Quality at speed, maintaining perfection while operating at breakthrough velocity. The complete empire acceleration formula. Based on studying rapid empire builders, Hill developed the complete empire acceleration formula. Formula Component 1, 10x mindset programming. Transform thinking from linear improvement to exponential multiplication through systematic psychological reprogramming. Formula Component 2, system multiplication architecture. Build interconnected systems that automatically amplify results without proportional increases in effort. Formula Component 3, resource leverage mastery. Develop methods for multiplying available resources exponentially rather than managing existing resources. Formula Component 4, timeline compression technology. Master the ability to achieve in months what typically takes years through breakthrough innovation and exponential execution. Formula Component 5, impossibility integration. Use impossible goals as fuel for breakthrough thinking and automatic limitation transcendence. The 90-day Empire Acceleration Protocol. Days 1 to 30, mindset multiplication installation. 10x thinking development. Rewrite all current goals in terms of 10x multiplication. Practice daily visualization of exponential outcomes. Develop psychological conditioning for impossibility level success. Linear limitation elimination. Identify and eliminate all linear thinking patterns. Remove mental constraints that limit exponential possibility. Install automatic responses that multiply rather than add. Days 31 to 60. System amplification construction. Exponential system building. Remove design systems capable of automatic multiplication rather than linear growth. Create interconnected structures that amplify each other's results. Build mechanisms for automatic scaling without proportional effort increases. Multiplication architecture. Remove develop cross-system leverage capabilities. Create automatic innovation generation systems. Build exponential scaling mechanisms into all activities. Days 61 to 90. Resource leverage and timeline compression. Resource multiplication mastery. Develop capital multiplication and attraction mechanisms. Timeline compression implementation. Optimally multiply available resource. Create network effects that generate exponential value. Master the ability to achieve years of progress in months of focused effort. Advanced empire acceleration techniques. The Alexander method, impossible goal integration. Set goals so impossible they force complete psychological transformation. Use impossibility as fuel for breakthrough innovation. Create systems that make impossible timelines inevitable. The Kahn system, exponential expansion psychology. Think in terms of doubling rather than improving. Build systems that automatically accelerate with each success. Use current victories as launching platforms for exponential growth. The Musk protocol, multi-system amplification. Operate multiple exponential systems simultaneously. Create cross-system leverage for automatic multiplication. Build innovations that automatically improve multiple ventures. The Jobs technique, Timeline transcendence, compress typical innovation cycles through breakthrough thinking, use impossible deadlines to force revolutionary solutions, master the art of creating cultural shifts in record time. The Empire Acceleration Laws. Law 1. The law of exponential thinking. Linear thinking creates linear results. Exponential thinking creates exponential results. The limitation is always in the mind, never in the circumstances. Law 2. The law of system multiplication. Systems that automatically multiply results will always outperform manual effort, regardless of how intense the manual effort becomes. Law 3. The law of resource leverage. The ability to multiply resources exponentially is more valuable than the resources themselves. Leverage creates more wealth than capital. Law 4. The law of timeline compression. Impossible deadlines force breakthrough innovation. Comfortable timelines enable incremental thinking. Acceleration requires pressure. Law 5. The law of impossibility. Integration. Impossible goals create exponential results. Achievable goals create incremental results. The impossible is the only worthy target for empire builders. Your Empire Acceleration Revolution. And now we come to the moment of ultimate choice. You've discovered the exact method that Alexander, Kahn, Musk, Bezos, Jobs, and countless others used to create explosive growth rather than gradual improvement. You've learned how to transform linear thinking into exponential results. The question isn't whether the Empire Acceleration method works. History's greatest empire builders prove its power beyond doubt. The question is, will you continue thinking in terms of gradual improvement, or will you make the psychological shift to exponential multiplication? Most people will hear about 10x growth and think it sounds unrealistic. Some will try the methods while still thinking linearly rather than exponentially. A few will make the complete transformation to 10x psychology and will discover that exponential results are not just possible, they're inevitable when you think and act exponentially. Which group will you join? Remember, Alexander conquered the known world in 13 years because he thought exponentially from the beginning. Kahn built the largest empire in history because he programmed impossibility into his psychology. Musk revolutionizes multiple industries simultaneously because he operates exponential systems. You have access to the same psychological principles. You have the same capacity for exponential thinking. You have the same opportunity to build explosive growth rather than gradual improvement. The only question is, will you accept linear limitations, or will you access exponential possibilities? Your 10x transformation starts now. If this message has awakened your understanding of exponential growth psychology, if you're ready to stop thinking in terms of gradual improvement and start thinking in terms of 10x multiplication, if you're finally ready to access the Empire Acceleration method and create explosive results, then I need you to take action immediately. Like this video if you're ready to develop 10x growth psychology. Subscribe to this channel if you want ongoing training in exponential empire building. Comment below and declare, I think exponentially. I build exponential systems. I achieve exponential results. Share this message with someone ready to transcend linear thinking. When you help others access exponential psychology, you strengthen your own 10x capabilities. Remember, every moment you think linearly is a moment you limit your empire's growth potential. Every moment you think exponentially is a moment you unlock breakthrough possibilities. Alexander could have expanded gradually like other rulers. Instead, he conquered the world. Kahn could have improved tribal life incrementally. Instead, he built the largest empire in history. You have the same choice. You have the same potential. You have the same opportunity to think and build exponentially. The Empire Acceleration method is waiting. The 10x psychology is ready to be installed. The exponential results are waiting to be created. Think exponentially. Build exponentially. Grow exponentially. Your 10x empire begins with your next exponential thought.